What's up guys, this is Dennis with Luke Zion Jewelry. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the 7.9mm Franco chain. And let me just start off by saying this is not your standard typical Franco chain. Guys, this is a huge Franco chain, and so I did a video a while back on the 5.5 Franco chain, and I just called that chain a chunky chain. And so this one's more chunkier, it's large, and so let's go ahead and dive into the details of this chain. All right guys, like always, I like to mention where these chains are manufactured, and this one specifically is made in Italy. It's solid sterling silver 925 made in Italia. All right guys, and so I tried my best to give you guys an idea on how this chain actually looks like. Again, I mentioned this before, if I back up, the chain is going to look small. If I zoom in, the chain's going to look enormous. And so it's kind of hard to give you guys an exact idea on how the chain looks like, but I give you guys some B-roll. I backed up, I zoomed in, just to kind of mix it all together to give you guys at least an idea, a picture on how this chain actually looks like. And one of the things about the 7.9 Franco chain, whether you hold it in hand or whether you wear it on the neck, one thing you will notice about the Franco chain and the 7.9mm is that it's a sturdy chain. So the links on this chain are just much larger, they're much bigger, and you can definitely tell the arrows just by looking at it, even from far away. Comparing it maybe to a 3mm, you kind of have to dig in there a little bit to see those arrows depending on the angle that you might be looking at the chain. The 7.9, you can tell that those are arrows, definitely big arrows. And the way that the links are interlocked in this Franco chain design is it gives you more of a square type of feel, and it's not sharp squares. I went through a few manufacturers, I found this one that was like super sharp. It was definitely a square Franco, and that hurt my neck. It was sharp and it was not very smooth on the neck. And so this one kind of gives it more of an oval type of design, if that's okay to say. It's not fully square, but it gives you more of a round type of feel to it, even though it's not a round chain. It's more of a box chain. And so when it comes to the sturdiness of this chain, it's gonna be noticed not only by yourself, but those around you, those that are perhaps looking at the chain being worn. You can definitely tell this is not a flimsy chain. And so you yourself and others around you are going to tell that this is not a flimsy chain. The links are definitely sturdy, they're well built, and it's a nice chunky chain. When it comes to the 7.9, I recommend it towards more of you guys that like thicker, bigger chains. And one of the things you have to consider is a chain being flat or a chain being rounded or box, right? For example, the rope chain is a rounded chain, the Franco chain is more of a box chain. You're gonna take a look at a Cuban chain, those are considered flat chains. If you're gonna take a look at a Figaro chain, that one is a flat chain, right? So it makes a huge difference when you're comparing those two type of designs. The Franco chain is gonna stand out, the links are gonna pop out a lot more, and the flat chains are gonna just lay flat on the neck. All right guys, and if you take a look at the clasp here, they are really well built. It's a nice clasp that goes with this 7.9 Franco chain, and it fits according to the millimeter. All right guys, so right here I am wearing a 20-inch next to a 22-inch and next to a 24-inch, just for reference. Okay, so let's talk about the 7.9 and how it compares to perhaps, let's say, a 10mm rope or a 12mm rope, right? So again, I do recommend the 7.9 for some of you guys that like more of the larger millimeter chains. And so even though the 7.9, I'm gonna say, is a sturdy, heavy chain, it still doesn't compare to the 10mm or the 12mm rope chains. Those chains are just like on the wow factor. Those chains are just enormous, they're big, they stand out, they're a huge statement piece. Even though the Franco chain is a very nice design, I'm not gonna consider this a huge statement piece when you compare it to the 10mm or the 12mm rope chains. This is gonna be, for some of you bigger guys, it's gonna be more of a subtle type chain, but a chunky subtle chain, if that makes sense, right? It's just gonna be below the 10mm and the 12mm, and that's just if you want to get an idea on where the 7.9 fits with some of these larger chains. All right guys, and that's it for this video. I want to say a special thanks to every single one of you guys that watched this video all the way to the end. If you haven't already, hit the like button, put the wave emoji in the comments below, just letting me know that you watched this video all the way to the end. And again guys, thank you so much love and respect, and I'll see you guys in the next video.